Well, that was very frustrating. Sorry about that, everybody. The stream seems to be working now. We had some problems with the internet with that one. So anyway, what I'll say again is that today we're going to be working through the Stripe stuff again, and we're going to be working through the payment processor, the decider that we were creating yesterday to make the decision as to whether or not a subscription is to be upgraded, to be downgraded, to be cancelled, or to be renewed. They're the four sort of areas that we're going to be playing with today. This is coming off of the back of a console script that I had created, and I'm kind of refactoring things and retesting things as I go. So let's get into the code. Apologies, everybody, for the start of that stream. Let's crack on. So, do I have to reset everything again, or is it a case of everything is fine? No, it looks like I do have to reset everything again. Thank you for that, YouTube. Brilliant. Bear with me a minute whilst I deal with all of these things. Yeah. Is the chat on? It is on. Sweet. Anyway, alright, and is that public? It's unlisted. Oh, great. Public, there we go. It's weird, everything resets every time you do this. Anyway, right, let's crack on. Let's see now. Let's do... so I've just created my Docker machine. Let's do an eval to this. I've literally just turned the machine on, and then I started streaming, and then it died. So let's do a docker ps-a. We've got all the containers. They seem to be down, though. The app is up. The database is up. Let's just do a docker compose up-d to bring that all up. Okay, right, that looks good. Okay, let's do a make tests and just see where we're at with everything. There's a couple of changes that I want to do whilst that runs in regards to the actions. In regards to the issue that we were working through. So I think these actions should have finished by now. Yes. Okay, so the issue that we're working on is this thing here, right? Refactor test Stripe console command. Now let's split this out, or let's add some sort of sub bits to this. So create a decider. So I'm going to do create a decider process that will decide the following. If a subscription is to be upgraded, and then we'll just copy that line, and we'll probably put in, let's put in some the old checkbox here. If it is to be upgraded, if it is to be downgraded, oh great, I can't copy that. If it is to be upgraded, if it's to be downgraded, graded. If it is to be cancelled, and what else do we need? Renewed. So I think they're the four things that we need to work through. This is what the decider will do. Right? Whoops. Sorry. Oh, come on. There we go. Right. And then also I'm going to have create a work unit that will supply the decider the current go on, spell it. Current what do we want? The current subscription and the selected subscription. Subscription plan. Subscription plan. And obviously there's a double R in there. There we go. So we'll put that in as another task. Okay. Okay, then create a processor that will create the work unit and decide the outcome and process the the outcome of the decider. And then we're going to create another one. So create a work unit that will supply the decider the current subscription plan and the selected subscription plan. Create a processor that will it doesn't create a work unit that will handle the outcome of the decider. So the processor, can you do sub? Is that possible? I don't know. So this will create processor method renew. No, we can't. Can we do this? I don't know. Create processor method. So that's renew. We've got upgrade. Then we've got create processor method downgrade. And we've also got so this is quite a big piece of work, this create processor method. So we've got renew, upgrade, downgrade, and we got cancel. Okay. Let me preview that for a minute. Can we do this? Yes, we can do subtasks. Okay, that's cool. Happy with that. I don't know why these are all not together, but that'll do for now. Okay, so create the decider process. Create a decider that will decide the following. And how are we doing with this? We're not going to worry too much with the acceptance tests. Everything just seems to have passed through. That's all gone through. Okay, good. So we'll come out of that. Let's get into the code. So excuse me. This is where we left it. Well, I did some more work onto it after the stream last night. What I want to do, this is the decider, right? So it's going to do the calculation based on the current score and the new score. This is all the stuff that we dealt with yesterday, and it's going to come out with a decision based on whether it needs to be upgraded, whether it needs to be downgraded, whether it needs to be cancelled, whether it's a fresh. I guess that's a new one as well. I forgot about that one. Edit. If the subscription is to be created, and I'll put in brackets fresh. Totally forgot about that. And then I guess down here we would have, down here we would have a method called create or something. Yeah. All right. So that's the wrong tab. There we go. Here we go. There we go. Right. So we got upgrade, we got downgrade, we've got cancel, we've got fresh. Now this one is one I want to change because this is no change. This means that none of these have fallen through, and therefore the current subscription is the same as the or is it? Actually, let's do let's do a check on that. Let's do a test actually on that. I guess there needs to be a public thing in here called renew, right? Decider is to renew. There we go. So I still want to do the no change because we're catching that as yeah. Okay, so we got the renew in here. Right, let me test this. We also need to, so we can't map that because it doesn't have, yeah, because it could either be one of these three. Right, how do we go ahead and test that? Let's go decided test. So the way I was playing with it last night is that there's no change by default. So on the test defaults, no change. And there's no plan on the selected, and there's no plan on the score at the moment. That's fine on default. And then down here, what we do is we test the current scores, and then we test we provide various different scoring. And then this one is we're testing the selected score, so it's very similar to that one above. And then this one here is making that decision. So maybe, yeah, it's here, isn't it? So these are all the upgrade paths. These are all the downgrade paths. These are all the cancel paths. These are all the fresh paths. And I suppose we should also create... actually, before I dive into this, let's create a new shell here. Come on. Thank you. Let's evaluate that. Let's get into the container. And what I would like to do is think. I would like to do bin code set run unit -g, and let's see. Let's run the subscription decider, all of those. Okay, that's cool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to supply under here. We're going to grab this, and we're going to paste. Yeah, that's the right blocks. I had issues yesterday with my arrays. So what we're going to do is current plan is, this is a constant, isn't it? Is subscription plan. We're going to try and do the same, right? So this should come out as a renew. So if we did, let's say, for instance, they want to try and renew a monthly. So the current plan is monthly, and the selected plan is monthly. So this means that they're renewing that plan, and the expected type should become the decider renew. Let's put in just a comment block in here, otherwise I get lost. So this should be renew. All right, let's run this. So the whole idea behind yeah, see, I thought there would be an issue. So the whole idea with this, let me just give you a bit of a backstory, is that what happens is when Stripe sends you a payment invoice success event, it goes to a webhook. That webhook puts it into a queue, puts the whole payload into the queue, and then this processor processes the event and on that event is the plan ID. And we've already made the logic to distinguish what the plan ID is. And what this is doing is it's comparing that plan ID against the stored plan ID, the current plan ID, I should say, against the user's account, and therefore we can make that distinction as to whether it's an upgrade, downgrade, cancellation, or renew. If it's the same plan ID as it was before, and we've been given a payment success, invoice success event, whatever it's called, that means that it's a renew. They're renewing their current plan. So this decide renew needs to work. So it was something I remembered whilst I was out on a run with Murphy this morning. I ran about 4 miles. Bit of a flex there. It's because it's falling into this block. I need to do an if this current score is equal to this selected score. And then we need to return subscription plan constants, decide renew. I think that should do it. So another bit of a backstory that we decided yesterday is that what we're going to do is provide a scoring for each one of these plans, and I'll demonstrate. So a no plan is 0, and then a free is 1, a monthly is 2, and a yearly is 3, and then this is the map against the internal names and those scorings. And so I know that if they've gone from a 2 to a 3, then that's an upgrade. If they've gone from a 3 to a 2, that's a downgrade, and so on. And so what I want to do is say, well, if they've gone from a 2 to a 2, then that's a renew. Okay, so hopefully that has picked that up. Let's run that. There was an error there. It's still saying no change. On line 29. So that's where it's falling into this block. The current score, the selected score. That's a bit weird. Yeah, it's definitely this one. It's failing, isn't it? It's not. Oh wait, no. It's failing on defaults. It's not failing on this. It's failing on the defaults. The defaults are renew. Why is that? Oh, I see. It needs to be. Yeah, I got it. I understand. This is because we're saying that the current score is equal to the selected score. We also need to make sure that and this current score is greater than subscription plan no plan. Okay, so we got to make sure that there is a plan in order to actually deal with the scoring. Okay, and then by default it's decided no change, which should be picked up in the default. So it was running test defaults there. So in theory, then my test has actually worked. There we go. I just had broken the default test. That's fine. Okay, good. Right. So let's go back and just fill out the blanks. It was in here right at the bottom. So let's test the fact that we've got a yearly and we're trying to renew our yearly thing. Like so, that should be the same. So let's run that. There we go. Okay, so I'm happy with that. That's made that decision, and we've now accomplished the decider bit of this, which is, I don't know why they're all. Let's see if we can format that a little bit nicer. It's this thing that's having the problem. don't understand why there's a line break in here. If the subscription is to be, it's almost like there isn't enough. I'm not going to worry too much about this, to be fair. If the subscription is to be upgraded, downgraded, so this is the decider logic. Whoops. So yeah, we've done upgraded. Oh, I need to update the comment. Huh. Right, yeah, so we've done that. We've done downgraded. We've done to be cancelled. We've done to be renewed. We've done to be have we done to be created? That is the no change, isn't it? Yep. No, it's not. Fresh. Have we done fresh? Yes, we've done fresh. Okay, so where we've got null as the current plan. We don't have a plan, and we have our selected plan, which is monthly or yearly. Yes, that's great. So that's in. Okay, now the next thing is to create a unit of work that will supply the decider the current subscription plan and the selected subscription plan. Now the decider, we were playing with this yesterday, and I can't remember. It's in here, isn't it? So this is what these were the notes we were throwing about. This is the work unit here. I'm gonna just bung this into our notes. Create a work unit. So yeah. Yeah, so I'll just paste this in if I can. There we go. And we'll just get rid of all this rubbish. We'll just leave it in. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I just need a reference. Okay, so we got the work unit. Now this is actually going to be in a class, and these are the kind of the properties. So we supply the current plan. We supply the selected plan. We also supply the customer. And the outcome is the type, so we might change that to be outcome or decision. Yeah. All right, so I suppose the best thing to do before I dive into anything else is let's just run make tests again. I just want to get it all the way up to the integration. In fact, I'm gonna create a make command that just does this, just because this is quite specific. So we got make tests. Let's do tests no db. All right. So yeah. Oh, no acceptance. So we need this lot: code style, static analysis, validate. We don't need. Yeah, no, we should do that. But we need to do that. 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 But we don't do acceptance. So tests is now, let's put this above. We can play around with this a bit. So tests is now all of these things bar that. So there we go, we put that in like that. Okay, so we should be able to run tests, no acceptance, and tests. So let's it's found complexity point. I just want to run make tests again. Just want to make sure that command is okay. I really should be doing this in a separate commit, but whatever. It looks like it's going through them all right. And then we'll do make tests, no acceptance. There we go. So this should go all the way through. Apart from that, it'll stop on the PM jobby. Okay, this is interesting. It's a cyclomatic complexity job of more than 11, and the threshold is 10. Also, there is an end path of a complexity of 243, but the threshold is 20. I bet it's in that if block. Yeah, same deal. This is the decider on line 42. Right, let's have a look. So it's on here, and it's line 42, which is up here. Yeah, so it is this block. So this is saying that this is too complicated. So how do we... We could take the calculate out. Yeah. But it's public. Yeah, let's do that. Because the decision here shouldn't run the calculate. The calculate calculates the gets the scoring. The decision-making process should already shouldn't know anything about that. It's just making the decision based on the output of that. So let's remove that from there, which means though that we're going to have to fiddle with this. So where we've got decide, we need to do decider calculate. It's not returning this, is it? It's not returning anything. Alright, let's change that to be return this. So that returns self. Okay, and then what we can do in here is we can do calculate and then decide. In fact, I wonder if we can refactor that even further. So where we've got calculate and decide, I wonder whether we can, if we rename this to be I wonder if we can do public function get outcome, get result, get decision. I think that's probably wise. Naming things is quite tricky in the old programming world. So yeah, get decision. So this will do this, calculate, and it will return this decide. Have I spelled decision wrong? Probably. Or maybe that. Yeah, have spelled, rename to, what have you got? Set session, set get design? No. Yes, I have spelled that wrong. It's got a C in it somewhere. There we go. Get decision. We'll calculate and then do this as decide, meaning that there's no calculation on here, meaning that in here I can just do get decision. Method get decision is not found. Okay, why is that? Pretty sure I've just created that. Get decision. Did that not save? Huh. Okay. Right, so let's change. I think it's just that I need to change. I think, because that's the only test that's running those things. I think that's okay. Yeah. Alright, let's just see if that has done anything to this. No. Okay. Decide. Right. Is there a way I can make this easier? So thing is, there's always going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decision points here. I'm wondering whether we should put these into their own separate methods. I'm wondering if we should do something like this. So public function, and we do is upgrade. And what we do is we pass this in like that. That becomes a Boolean. And we literally return that. I'm wondering if that's... And then down in here, I mean, I think it's easier to read anyway. So this is upgrade. And then we've got is downgrade, is cancel, is fresh, is renew, is no change. Right? So let's just see if right, so let's see if we do is downgrade. So is downgrade is here. Okay. And then what's next? It's the cancel is cancel. So is cancel is there. It's a good job I've got my tests, right? Because then I know if I've screwed any of this up. So is cancel goes into here. And then we have fresh is fresh. Wait, I'm confused. What have I done? All right, let's do that again. Sorry, I think I screwed up there. Let's do is fresh on this one. I'm trying to do this as delicately as I can. Okay, so that is fresh. And then this one is renew. So public function is renew all. And sorry, we are returning this, aren't we? Oh, you idiot. You've copied nothing. Again. Sorry, I've still got it. Return that. There we go. Alright. I think that's okay. I think that reads better anyway. Alright. I think that reads better. So let's run those. Sorry about that. Right, here we go. Okay, that passed. PHPMD liked that, and I like that too. Thank you very much, PHPMD. Mess detection. Okay, so we'll just let this roll out for a minute. Yeah, that's looking nicer. It's readable. Is upgrade, is downgrade, is cancel, is fresh, is renew. There you go. And then we let the individual methods make the decision as to whether it is or not. And I mean, it's important of this order, but that's fine. So we'll let these tests all run through. These are all the unit tests that go through, and then we'll wait for the integration test to pass. And then what I'll do is I'll do a code coverage report. I don't think we're missing anything, because those tests would test those little individual methods anyway. And then we'll move on to the work unit stuff. Try and do this nice and methodically. I think that's probably the best way, is break down this challenge into small little bite-sized pieces of work and go through them methodically. It is a big challenge to do this. It is a big mighty challenge, but you know, if you break your challenges down into small bite-sized chunks, you know, into small manageable chunks, then you get an idea for, you know, how less daunting it all is. Okay, where are we at with the tests? Okay, my cursor's not following. There we go. I really dig PHPMD. I think it's a very underused tool. I think I discovered it from a conference talk. I can't remember which one though, which is unfortunate. but I've been using it for years. It's so good. Okay, so they all look like they've passed. We're going to do make test coverage, which means that we're going to test them all again, just the unit tests and the acceptance, the integration tests. But this time we're going to generate code coverage, just because I want to make sure we've done a little bit of work this morning. I want to make sure that we haven't overlooked anything. And then we'll do the commit, and then we'll move on to the work unit stuff. How long? I've been going for about how long? I'm just trying to work out. I want to have proper breaks today. Yesterday was a bit nuts. I had a break at the first hour, and then I went on for about 3 hours. Okay, so we're good. We're on 41 minutes, so we'll get to the work unit bit. We'll have a little play with that. We'll break about an hour, and I'll go down and grab a drink. So these, as I keep mentioning, these integration tests take a bit of time compared to the unit tests, because these are hitting the database. They're also dumping they're deleting the data, but dropping the database, and then recreating the database from a dump file that we have, which is why it takes a little bit of time. Excuse me. Whenever I go out for a run, I end up just coughing. Which isn't great in this climate, is it? In this day and age where a cough is not seen as good. Looks like it's going to rain outside. 529 tests, 724 assertions, whatever you want to call them. Okay, we wait for the report to be built. And come on, there we go, it's been built. So the report gets built in our test folder in output, in coverage, and in index.html. Let's load this up. Okay, so we're at 77%. That's not so bad. Could be a lot better. And what we're working through at the moment is the stripe stuff. So we have built the... Is it in event? Is it... Okay, so that's the payload store. This is what we built yesterday. And then this is our handler. Right, so this is the handler. So where is the decision maker? Where did I put that? Oh yes, in subscription. No. In subscription here. In the decision maker, it's 100%. That's cool. We haven't missed anything. That's really good. So this is our decider. I'm super happy with that. Excellent. Okay, so now what we can do is we can do git status. I'm going to do git commit of that make file. So I'm just going to put in adding, what did I call it? There was a something I created, right, in the make file, which was, yeah, it was this. Let's just get rid of that space there. Okay, so adding this, and this is to the make file. All right, git status, and then we'll do git commit -am, and we'll do adding renew type. There we go. And we'll just do a git push, and we'll just let the we'll let our GitHub actions take care of that. So in our actions here, there we go. So this is just going to do basically what I've just done. It's going to do a pre-build check, and then it's going to do the unit test. The pre-build check does, I believe, we'll wait for this to run through. I'll just double check this. This should do, yes, does the composer install, it does the PHP code sniffer, beautifier, PHP stan, PHP MD, some other checks as well. Yes, so pretty much what we've done. And then once that's done, it'll do the unit tests, which are just this. So that's all. Just a safety net. Right, let's go on with get on with the work units. So the work unit here, if we go back to here and go to issues and have a look at, again, let's always go back to our thing that we need to do is create a work unit that will supply the decider this current subscription plan and the selected subscription plan. We also need to supply the customer as well. Okay, so our work unit is going to be built in subscription. In here, subscription work unit. So let's go ahead and start creating those tests then. So in let's clear down all this ridiculousness and then go to unit subscription. Why is that not? Oh, look at that. That's my notes. Okay, stupid place to put notes, right? Let's copy that. So this is our subscription work unit. Now I don't think this is going to be terribly complicated because the decision is the decider has done the heavy lifting. So all we need to do in this case is I think it's just going to be like almost successor methods on this. I think. So we do subscription, we'll create a new class called subscription work unit, which obviously doesn't exist, so we'll do work unit here, and work unit there, unit, there we go. And the defaults here, I suppose, would be that we don't have by default a get current subscription, yep, and so hang on, sorry, work unit, there we go, that makes sense now. So we don't have a current subscription, and by default we don't have a so we do get selected subscription. So by default we don't have those. Okay. So if I was to run this, it's obviously going to fail because we haven't created any of that yet. So let's just do that now. So let's do a G on this. Yep. So let's go ahead and create the class. So let's go over to here. I tell you what, let's just for simply. It's a bad habit of mine to just copy and paste everything, but let's just do it. So this is work unit. And we'll get rid of all these methods because they don't mean a thing in this context. Okay, so we got subscription plan, we've got current subscription plan, and we've got selected subscription plan. They're all set to null. I suppose what we should do is create some accessor methods. So I think that's okay. I haven't decided yet whether they should come in through the constructor or not. Let's also create other accessor methods for that too. and tidy up our imports. And then now in the test we can do subscription work unit. Why is that not found? That's weird. Get current. Oh, right. I see. I see. So this should be get subscription plan. There we go. There we go. Okay, and then so we'll run that. These should now hopefully pass. Hopefully. Which they, come on, think about it. Do they? Not at all. Okay, get selected subscription plan. Is that a spelling mistake I can see there? That seems to be okay now, I think. Yep, okay, so if we think about it from the processor's point of view, we're going to get an event from the event store. We're going to know who the customer is, and therefore we know the customer's current plan if they've got one. We get the plan ID from the event, and then from that we get the selected subscription plan. And we pass all of this in to the work unit, and then on the work unit we also inject, that's what I need to do, I need to inject the decider. Yeah, alright. Okay, so let's create this up here. Let's do make okay, so work unit make is what we're going to call. And I suppose we could pass in the stuff from make, I suppose. We could. Yeah. Okay, let's do that. So we've got our current subscription plan, which is equal to a new subscription plan, where the current subscription plan has a set of an internal name of subscription plan plan constants. Let's do monthly. We also have the selected subscription plan, which is also, well, let's do an upgrade. That makes sense. All right. So that's a yearly. So they're currently on a monthly, but they want to upgrade to a yearly. Okay. We also need to supply the customer, right? So let's do customer. Why do we need to supply the customer? Don't think we actually need to supply the customer. Why would we want to supply the customer? We know all of these things at this point, so I don't think we need to. I think we just need to supply this and this. And then what will happen off of this is we'll call, that's going to call the decider. So we're going to inject the decider into here. So let's do it's not really a unit test anymore, is it? Let's do decider. Let's do new Stripe. How did I do this? Subscription decider. How did I call this? Decide. Subscription decider. There we go. And I've totally forgotten. What do I need to do? How am I setting this up? Oh, we're setting them. Okay. Set. Okay, I see. Okay, so we inject this into there. And then what this does is it calls the decider, sets these, and makes the decision, and returns that back. So then we do work unit get outcome. So in this sort of scenario where we've gone from monthly to yearly, the outcome should be an upgrade. So this means that we should do an assert same, where this is subscription plan constants decider upgrade is work unit get outcome. Okay, now that we've done a lot of stuff there that I mean we haven't written, it's going to fail that that doesn't exist, and then it's going to fail that that doesn't exist. So let's do make upgrade. Okay, let's just run the test and see what the first error is, and then we'll work through it that way. So the first error here is that we have an undefined method subscription make. It's weird that it hasn't thrown that as an undefined thing, but whatever. Okay, so let's go into the work unit and let's create that. So public function make. And we've got to pass in the subscription plan, which is our current subscription plan. And we also have to put in our another subscription plan, which is our selected subscription plan, which basically means these accessor methods are pretty useless. And what we'll do, these must be nullable. We'll do this. Set selected is so that's selected. And we'll also make set current as well. Okay, so we've got that method. Okay, so get outcome. So we do public function get outcome, which is going to be a string, Okay. Now, we need to return this outcome, which hasn't been set up yet. So we'll put that in here. And we need to do something with the decider, and then we do this outcome is equal to the decider thing. So let's just do that for a sec. Okay, cool. All right, so now we need to put in the decision process. So we're going to inject this into, let's do private subscription decider is decider. Okay, and then we'll, from up here, we'll do public function we'll pass in the subscription decider into there. So we'll do this. Decider is equal to decider, like so, which means that down here we can now do this decider. Right. Get decision. But first up, what we need to do. In fact, there's no need for any of this, is there? Well, no, there is. There is. I need to pass in. I need to do. So that's going to return a string, right? Yeah. So we need to do decider. Set current subscription plan and set, is that current? No, set selected. Alright, and then that's gonna get the decision. So that returns this. So there we go, that's self. Brilliant. Whoops. Not brilliant. Right, okay, what's going on there? Why is that? That's better. Good. Right. Run that. It's actually no, a renew. Why is that a renew? That's not what I intended. In my opinion, there's actually no need for any of this stuff. It's just a case of running make off of here. So this shouldn't actually encapsulate any of this stuff. It should just be a case of setting the subscription plan, getting the subscription plan, and making the decision. That's all it is. Otherwise, I'm just going to be setting objects to objects. So, okay, what's going on here? Why have I not? Ah, I see. There we go. So that's current. That's current. Nope, I've done it wrong. Let's get it in the same order as what we've got. So it's current first, and then it's selected. So we need to do that one, and then we do current down here. There we go. Sweet. Hopefully this will now pass, although one of them will fail because that would be the defaults. Yeah, alright, too few arguments. Yeah, okay, fine. So let's get rid of the defaults for a second. Test make, not makes. Make, okay, fine. So it is this. Is it? Hang on. Too few arguments to function construct. Oh, okay. There we go. That worked. So so we've injected the decider into here, and then we're calling make, and then we're getting the outcome from the decider. It means now that I can put in other deciders if I wanted to. There's no need, but that kind of refactors that bit, which is nice. Processor, decider. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good. I guess what we could do is having a think. Yeah, I suppose what we could do, just to be 100% certain, although no, we've already tested it. I was going to say we could just put in all of the data providers again, but I think that's okay. It's not going to hurt, is it? Let's do it. It's not going to hurt. It's all of this stuff. So up here we do data provider. We pass in decide provider, and this would be our array, or sorry, data, I should say, which is an array. And we do data. What's that? That is our current, right? So that would be current plan type. And then this would be our selected plan type. And then this would become the decision, the expected type. So I guess we've just sort of tested it from an abstraction level up, you know, higher than we had before, but it's fine. It's okay. Okay, what's going on here? Is it because one of these is null, maybe? So that's internal name, internal. Yeah. So I need to look out for that. Current plan. So if data current plan type isn't null, same again with this. Which is selected plan. And we set these to be null by default. All right, let's give that a blast. Yep, they're all good. Good. Okay, so we've now created our work unit. I'm just going to get rid of this because this is old hat stuff now. Create a work unit that will supply the decider, the current subscription plan, and the selected subscription plan. That's good. I'm happy with that. Boom. So now we move on to the processor. So these will create. So the processor has the methods renew, upgrade, downgrade, cancel, and create that are triggered based upon the outcome of that work unit. Yeah. Okay, I am going to take a quick break, and then I'll be back. I'm just going to grab another cup of tea, and then we'll work through that processor. I think that's good. Okay, I'll see you very shortly. That's the sound of my my desk rising. Okay. I'm now stood up. Let's move this over here a bit. Okay, so excuse me. I now have my tea and I now have my a drink, some water. I'm gonna try and take these breaks a little bit more regularly, I think. So the next one is probably 12:30. That'll be my lunch. Okay, so we're working through. Show you the code. We're working through the processor side of this now. We've done the work units. We've done the decider. Now we need to do the processor. So the processor is going to be create a processor that will handle the outcome of the decider. In fact, let's change that. Outcome of the work unit. The work unit has already called upon the decider to make that decision. It's now up to the processor to process that decision. So whether it's to be renewed, upgraded, downgraded, cancelled, or created. Right. So, I guess before we do this, let's just make sure that we haven't screwed around with any of the. I should have ran this before I went to lunch. Sorry, before I went on a break. Let's just make sure we haven't screwed anything up. So make sure that code styles are happy. Make sure that PHP MD is happy. Make sure that PHP Stan is happy. Make sure that I haven't screwed anything up in terms of other tests. Excuse me. Good. And I guess also what I should do is just run the code coverage again, just to make sure that we haven't missed anything. You know, there's no point going forward if we still have to work on stuff behind. So we'll just take our time and wait for all the things to tell us that we're ready to move on to the next stage of the game. The processor is going to be dealing with the outcome of the work unit. Okay, I tell you what, I'm gonna stop this now, and instead I'm gonna do make test coverage, because there's no point in running the unit tests and the integration tests and then running them again. So I'm just gonna run this. Yeah, so the processor will have the methods in there for making the different, to adjust the subscription based on the outcome of the work unit. Now, the thing is that one of these is called renew, and to be honest, to be technical about it, everything is a renew. Well, apart from a cancel, it's a renew, in the sense that a renew is changing the end date to another end date in the future of the subscription. So whether it's a upgrade or whether it's a renew, there's always going to be that, or whether even if it's a fresh thing, a new subscription, the end date will always be processed. So my head is thinking at the moment that maybe we should create some sort of do this via inheritance rather than composition, in the sense that we have a base class that has the renew function on it, that the upgrade and the fresh and the renew can hook into. Try and limit down the amount of code duplication. And also at this stage we need to have the customer details as well. So we need to have the customer. Yeah. And what we do is we supply the selected plan and the customer to each one of those methods after we've worked out which method to call. And then it's the, in fact, maybe we should go one step further. Maybe we should have a class for each one of those methods. Yeah, maybe that's what we should do. So maybe if we go back to here, maybe we should have, instead of a processor method, maybe we need to create a class. Create class renew. Create class upgrade. So this is renew. So it'll be called subscription renew. Then this one is going to be subscription upgrade. And then there's going to be this one, which is going to be subscription downgrade. Yeah, I think this makes more sense. And then there's going to be a subscription cancel. And then there's going to be subscription create. So I need to do create classes. So this is create here. So create class. So this change that to be class. And then we can use polymorphism to instantiate these classes based upon the outcome that we've got from our work unit. Okay, that's cool. I like that. And what we do is we inject the selected plan, the current plan, and the customer into each one of these things. Now this one is going to be the interesting job, because subscription renew, the upgrade does a renewal, and the create does a renewal, in the sense of it changes the end date. So we may have to create like a base class that all of these extend from, and then have that update end date kind of method that these can call through. Okay, you can tell my brain is going a million miles ahead of what I've actually done. So let's see. Okay, first of all, let's check the code coverage and make sure that we haven't missed anything. So that's gone up, which is always a good sign. 77.27, and we were playing around with subscription work unit. Work unit is all hitting 100%. I'm thankful for that, as well as the decider is still at 100% as well. That's good. So now I suppose what we should do, maybe we should make these classes first, and then make the processor hook into these. Yeah. All right. Let's commit the code at where we are at the stage we're at. So let's do git status. Let's just make sure what we've done. We've created the work unit, and okay, so that's cool. Git commit -am. Creating work unit, and again we'll just throw that up to the pipeline to do its thing. So the next challenge then is to create these individual classes. I think that's probably a win. Well, actually, maybe not. Maybe we should create the processor first. Yeah, let's do that. Let's create the processor first. So we'll use this. I think we're kind of ready to get rid of all of this. This is what I was thinking. I'm going to just rename this to BKP for a second. And we'll push this in. So instead of our switch statement that we've got down here, we're actually going to instantiate a class of fresh, a class of upgrade, downgrade, cancel, and so on and so forth. Right. Okay, let's uncomment some of this stuff. And let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of all of these things. Okay, let's deal with the processor defaults. So we got processor in here, and we're going to instantiate. We're going to do a new subscription processor. Now this already looks like it's been created and created. All right, what is that doing? Okay. That's fine. All right, so we got the processor in here, right? So what's the defaults? We need to supply. Is there going to be any defaults? I don't think so. Let me think. So the processor is going to create the work unit. The work unit is going to come back with an outcome. And then from that outcome, we're going to process those steps. So when we instantiate the processor, I guess what we need to do, if we were to do it from the point of view of the console command, let's take it back to the origin story. So that is this one here. Essentially what this is doing here, we basically want to supply process, sort of processor, and then process, passing in those bits. So it'll be something like processor is equal to new. I mean, obviously this will be injected, right? So that'll be injected. So then we do processor process, and we pass in. Yeah, maybe we should just pass in. There's only three things. This, like, the customer, the selected plan, and the yeah, I reckon we should just do that. Okay, so maybe there isn't a default one here. All right, let's do test process. So processor is a new processor, and we want to do processor process, and we want to pass in a we want to pass in our customer. We want to pass in the current plan. We want to pass in the so that's plan, and we want to pass in the selected plan. There we go. Okay, that's going to call work unit make, and then it's going to call get outcome, and then based on that, it's then going to do the various bits and pieces. This allows me to then inject various things into here. That's fine. So let's go and create this stuff. So let's do customer is equal to a new. It is a new user. Well, let's do a current subscription plan. This is equal to a new subscription plan. Now, one could argue that if we've got the user, we technically have the current subscription plan, which means that we don't actually need to supply that. Yes. So all we need to do is the selected subscription plan is equal to a new subscription plan. There we go. And of course we'll set the set the selected plan to be set internal name. We'll set the selected to be yearly. We'll do an upgrade. So we'll do subscription plan constants upgrade. No, sorry, that's the wrong thing. It's internal name yearly. There we go. So with here we need to do customer set set subscription. There we go. So we need to make this subscription. So subscription subscript is equal to new subscription, and the subscription has current. Okay, yeah, I see. Oh yeah, set plan. There we go. We can get it from there. So subscription, so current subscription plan is equal to a new subscription plan, and current subscription plan will go for we'll set the internal name to be subscription plan constants, and I guess this is going to be internal name monthly, yes, because it's an upgrade from monthly to yearly. There we go. There we go. We're going to pass that into the plan like that, and we're going to set the subscription into as the user, like so. There we go. That's looking good. So that's all wired up. That's all wired up. That's wired up. That's wired up. That's wired up. That's wired up. Okay. So, what do we want to come out as an outcome with this? I suppose what we do here is we I guess we could return a boolean, whether it's been processed or not. So we could do has processed, and then we could assert true that it has processed. There we go. Now obviously failures all over the place, but that's the whole point of doing these kind of tests. So let's run. Actually, I need to put groups in. This is processor subscription processor process. So we'll run this one. So let's do there we go. We got the error here. Okay, so let's go and create that class, that method. So public function process, and we need to have our customer, so that is our user. And we also need to have a nullable. Why would it be nullable? It will be nullable if it's cancelled. Fine. Okay, this is our selected. This is our subscription plan. Yeah, and this would be our current. No, selected. Subscription plan. Okay, so now we we create a work unit. So public function. I don't know whether I should inject the work unit in, or whether I just do. Maybe instead of putting all of this stuff in, it goes in the work unit, and I pass the work unit to the processor. Maybe I'm doing this the wrong way round. Maybe I should do that. Maybe instead of this, I should do work unit, subscription work unit, and then I do work unit get outcome, and then based on that outcome, we then deal with the process. Get outcome. Okay. An architectural question, I think, on this, as to where we should go with this. Now I'm saying that we need to, instead of dealing with all of this stuff, we create our work unit. And we pass the work unit to the processor. That to me sounds more sensible. Okay, let's try this. Work unit. So we need to put in a decider, right? So the thing that's getting me is the customer. The customer comes in. If we, so we need to supply the customer, and from the customer we can get the current plan. So we could do decider. Okay, let's take a couple of steps back. This is proving a bit tricky. So, okay, we're setting the current plan to the user, which we do as standard. We have a selected plan, which is not associated to anything else. It's just something that the user has chosen. It's actually coming off the back of the event from Stripe, based on the plan ID. So at some point, we need to pass in the customer to the processor. That has to happen. And then at some point, we pass in so the processor needs to know the customer, because it needs to pass the customer back to those individual classes, because they'll be handling things like emails and whatnot and everything like that, depending on the type of upgrade, downgrade, all that jazz. Okay, so we need so the customer the processor needs to know the customer. That is a fact. Okay. So okay, let's just walk through this a little bit at a time. Should the work unit know the customer? And if so, we could get the if it does know the customer, then actually yes, I've thought about this. Okay, yeah, I'm on it. I know what's going on. I know what I need to do. Yeah, okay, here we go. Let's use some interfaces. I'm going to just comment this out. The processor we need to set the decider to the processor. Sounds a bit radical, but bear with me a minute. Subscription processor set decider. So what we're going to do here, let's get rid of all of this jazz. We don't need any of that or any of this. We do processor, instantiate a new processor, processor set decider. So the decider will be a subscription decider. Gotcha. We pass that into the subscription processor. Gotcha. All right. So yeah, we don't do any of that at the moment. So if we did same, just bear with me whilst I wrap my brain around this for a second. Processor get decider should be, we'll do assert instance of, and this is our subscription decider class. Okay, right. Let's run that for a second. That will fail. Come on. Come on. Gotcha. Okay, so then we create the decider in here. So we do I reckon instead of doing it like that, what we should do is pass this in like that. There we go. So we do decider, private. Maybe not. I'm starting to doubt this now. Private subscription decider. Because what I'm thinking of doing is instantiating the work unit and passing the decider that we've passed to the processor into the work unit based on an interface. So we'll do instead of a work unit requiring the decider in here, we can set that to be nullable. And then we can do set decider. This decider is equal to decider that we got to pass in here. And then we would do if this decider instance of decider. No, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. We're opening up a path for problems. We're opening up a world of pain if we did that. Okay, let's go back to the drawing board on that one. What I was going to do is have a decider interface. As there's only one decider, it doesn't seem necessary. So, okay, let's go back to the drawing board. I think we still need to pass in the work unit in the process, which means that we and then work unit. And I think also, I think I know how to get around this. Yeah, I think I know how to get around this. Let's create some stuff. So private, let's think about what we need. So we need the customer, which is a user, which is our customer. We need to have a nullable subscription plan, which is our current subscription plan. We need to have our selected subscription plan. And I think what we should do is implement getters and setters for these. Maybe. So we've created our work unit. Work unit. We have get outcome and make. Aha, make. Gotcha. So there we go. We got our current plan, current subscription. So sorry, this current subscription plan, and we have our this selected subscription plan. There we go. We're cooking on gas now. We're gonna still need to have our setters, but I don't think we need our getters. I don't think we need that. Let's get rid of the getters. Get rid of the getters. Okay. Let's take a couple of steps back then. Back to the test. So we don't have the decider. That's already made. That's fine. All right. Let's just let's test a couple of things. In fact, if we've got the customer, then we don't need the current plan. Yeah. So we still need that, but when we set the customer, set the customer, we get the current subscription plan from the customer. So get rid of this. Current subscription plan. No need for that. So we can do this. Current subscription plan is equal to this customer get subscription get plan. Now, is subscription nullable? It is nullable. Okay, so what we need to do is have an if statement in here. I need to write some tests for this. Okay, right. Let's write some. Hold your horses. Let's write some tests. Let's do test set customer. All right. Okay. So we're going to do processor set customer, and we're going to supply the customer, and we're going to have customer first of all with no plan. No subscription plan. That sounds a bit odd, doesn't it? It has no plan. This customer has no plan whatsoever, so it has no subscription plan. Fine. So we're going to do customer is equal to a new user. That's all we need to do. We pass that in, and we want to make sure that we have assert null, where we have the processor. I suppose we are going to need getters. Get customer. How are we going to test that though? I don't think we need getters because there's no need to get anything from the processor. I suppose the only thing that we need to test I don't think we need this either. We don't need the decider. We've decided upon that. We need set customer and set subscription plan. They're the only two. And then this returns a boolean. Okay, so we'll just return. We'll do stuff and then return false. All right. Okay, so we create the customer with no plan, and then we set the customer, and we do processor process. Oh, hang on, wait. So we need to get the work unit, which is a new work unit. Which has the decider in, so I'm going round in circles here. And the decider is equal to new decider. Gotcha. Okay, so with the work unit, we then do make, but maybe we should do this. Yeah, we do work unit and then make. So we inject the work unit in. We got the current subscription plan and we got the selected subscription plan. We've already got the user from here. When we set the customer, we do this. Current subscription plan is equal to this. Hang on. We do this. No, we do customer. No, we do this customer. Sorry. Get subscription is an instance of subscription. If that's the case, then we do this customer get subscription get plan, else we return null, which probably be done a little better, but okay. So we set the customer, we set the selected subscription plan, and then from here we can do make this current subscription plan and this selected subscription plan. So the work unit just is a blank work unit with nothing in it. What we're doing is then so could we not inject the work unit into the processor as the, I think we could. Yeah, I think we could. So in here we do work. The thing is, I don't want to do that. It's going to have to come in somewhere. Work unit. Okay. Gotcha. Brilliant. Okay, so then we can rely on auto wiring to deal with all the bits and pieces there. Why is that? Oh yeah, okay, that's complaining that it's a could be a local variable. We haven't dealt with that stuff. So, okay, this is going to be then result is equal to this work unit get outcome. Okay, and then based on the result, we'll do various bits and pieces. Let's run those tests and see what hasn't been wired up yet. So that would be in here. Processor test, here we go. Yeah, we need to wire this up. That needs to go up there. That needs to go in there. We need to do processor set customer. The customer is this. And we also need to set, yeah. So it's kind of going in the right direction. Kind of. Okay, so we create the decider, blah, 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 blah. The processor, we set the customer, which is set up here, and we also set the selected plan. So in this case, we're doing an upgrade. Like this. Selected plan. Okay, then we do a process. Oh yes, we need to do set of all of these things. So we're going to set that. Cool. Okay, and then we do a process. And we're going to assert that this returns true. Which I think we've got it returning false, but that's okay. Excellent. Okay. So that's happy now. Right, so now we can work on the actual processes of this. So I think we need a switch statement. Whoops. Where we have result. And a case where the result, where the result is subscription plan constants. This is a decider upgrade. And then we need to then create what do we call it? Step? No, because that infers that there's more than one step. God, my brain's gone blank. What do we call this? So this is going to be a new class. Well, okay, subscription process. There we go. So this is going to be like a new, and this would be our subscription upgrade process. And here we would pass in this customer. We would pass in this this customer, this current subscription plan, and this selected subscription plan. There we go. No, not setting. Come on. In fact, what we could do is, instead of that, so that goes down there, then we do break subscription plan. So we do subscription process, we'll do that as null. And then down here, so I'm riffing a bit here. So subscription process set set customer is this customer. Set we don't need to do that, we just do selected. So set selected. And then we do subscription process. Process, there we go. So it's like sub-processes. So this one would be the upgrade, then this one would be so this is more of a factory, really, actually. Thinking about it, it's more of a factory. So this would be decider, renew. So this would be our subscription renew. This one would be our subscription downgrade. So that would be downgrade. And then we would have cancel. And that would be our cancel process. Each one needing to have the customer and the subscription plan, and then we run process. I think what we should do is we should turn this into a factory instead of a processor. So we'll do subscription processor factory. That's what we'll call it. Okay, let's paste this in there, that in there. So none of these, and then what we'll do is we'll return that, which is the Boolean. We'll have a default in here that will have a to-do add error logging. Okay. Don't need that, do we? Okay, that seems better. So this is going to, instead of process, we'll call this make. So this this factory will make the relevant processes based upon the decision that the work unit has made. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, there's a bit of refactoring I can do here, but let's first up, let's just run these tests. We had one which was false, which is true. If we can get that back, I mean, it'll fail because none of the stuff exists, but I want to see what the errors are. Subscription, aha! So the fact that I haven't actually set up the tests to be off of the, okay, so this is now subscription plan factory. No, it's not. It's process factory. And this is now make. Is it though? Yes. In fact, I think what I should do is return off of make. We should return an instance, and then we should allow the factory, whoever's calling that factory, to then run that process. That makes a lot more sense. Let's so instead of this, let's return the subscription process. So instead of true or false, we return the subscription process. And we're going to return this a subscription process interface, because all of these will need to adopt this interface, and they'll all need to have the ability to set the customer and set the selected plan. They should also have a method in there to do the process, but we'll get onto that in a minute. Good stuff. Okay, let me just run this test. Okay. Call to member function on null. So we're in line 78 on that test, which is here. Okay, so that's gone into make, which has gone into here, which then... Oh, is it because we haven't set the customer as the thing yet? Okay, I see. I see. So one could argue, actually, that instead of supplying these setters and getters and all that jazz, we don't need any of this rubbish, do we? We don't need any of this stuff. We can supply it into here, can't we? So we've got customer, and we've got selected subscription plan. There we go. Yeah, I think that makes sense. So we go customer, this is our user, and this is our nullable subscription plan. I kind of have gone around in a circle, but I think it's for the best. So this is now customer, and this is now selected subscription plan. It's just a simple factory, that's all it is. Okay, gotcha. So there's no need for any of this stuff. Okay, so based off of here, we could do customer, we can do, I see what's going on. That needs to be in there. In fact, we don't need any of this. Well, we don't need any of this. We can just do set work unit. Actually, no. Let's not set it back, because then that's silly. Okay, so we need to pull out the select the current plan. That's what we need to do. So current plan is equal to customer get subscription get plan or null. I think that's right. Okay, that goes into there. That goes into there. Fine. So all this is doing is choosing which upgrade path, which path this goes down. This train goes down. Okay. It seems a little bit more easier to graph now. So on the processor we have make, and we pass in the customer, and we pass in the selected subscription plan. There we go. And we need to return an instance of, so let's change this now to be factory, because that's what it is. And so this is going to return a subscription processor, and we want to make sure that we assert instance of subscription processor interface class, and that is that. And then this up here is test test factory make. This is then processor factory. Excellent stuff. I think that's much better. It's more manageable. Let's get rid of this up here. Okay, so obviously we haven't built any of these things, so we'll get our usual errors back, but that's fine. Aha, okay, what's going on? Oh, processor factory. Call to member get plan on null. Is that because on line 22, which is not in this class, it's in processor factory, isn't it? Here we go. Okay, sorry. Yes, the subscription is not. So if we did if, so we do current subscription plan is equal to null, and then we do if customer get subscription is an instance of subscription. Then from there we can do current plan. Current subscription plan is equal to customer, come on, get subscription, get plan. Fantastic. Okay. Set customer. On null, is that because, well, that's on line 47, is that because we're now into these things and we're calling null on these because these don't actually exist? That's a really good place for me to just pause. I'm going to grab some lunch and I will be back in about probably an hour's time. But yeah, cool. I'll see everybody again in about an hour's time. Speak to you soon. Where's OBS gone? Okay. See you in an hour, and then we'll get back onto these four little things here. That one, that one, that one, and that one. Speak to you soon. Cheers. Bye.